I've always been an avid explorer, a digital wanderer of sorts. You see, the internet, with its vastness and complexity, has always piqued my curiosity. Each click leading to newer discoveries, each search revealing more than the last. But there's a part of it, a darker part, that is shrouded in mystery and intrigue, the dark web. It was an ordinary evening, just like any other. The setting sun cast long shadows, and the soft hum of my laptop filled the otherwise silent room. There was a certain allure, an irresistible pull that led me to delve into this unknown world. A world where anonymity was the rule and rules were scarce. I was about to embark on a journey into the heart of darkness, the dark web. I was stepping off the beaten path, letting my curiosity guide me. But little did I know that night, curiosity didn't just kill the cat, it almost killed me. The dark web, the internet's underbelly, a place where the sun never shines. A realm of the digital world that's shrouded in mystery and misconceptions. The dark web is a labyrinth, an unregulated wilderness where anonymity is king. It's a place where identities are hidden under layers of encryption, providing a haven for those who wish to operate outside the bounds of law and morality. From whistleblowers and political activists to cybercriminals and thrill-seekers, the dark web attracts a wide spectrum of individuals, each with their own motivations. But they all share one common trait. They're looking for something they can't find on the surface web, be it freedom, excitement, or even darkness. I remember my first foray into this shadowy realm. I was just another curious explorer, drawn in by tales of its hidden depths. I thought I was ready, but nothing can prepare you for the chilling reality that awaits. The initial sense of intrigue soon gave way to unease. The dark web's eerie nature began to unsettle me. It was like walking through an endless maze of shadows, where every corner held a new surprise. The sense of anonymity was both liberating and frightening. It was as if I had stepped into another dimension, where rules and norms didn't apply. I came across forums discussing topics that would be considered taboo or even illegal on the surface web. I saw marketplaces selling everything from stolen identities to illicit substances. I found websites that claimed to offer contract killers for hire. The more I delved, the more I realized the true nature of the dark web. It's a place where the darker side of human nature is laid bare, without any pretense or fear of repercussion. I felt a chill run down my spine. I should have turned back, should have disconnected, but there's a strange allure to the dark web, a morbid fascination that keeps you clicking. It's like peering into an abyss, knowing full well it might swallow you whole. I should have stopped there, but I didn't. I was drawn in like a moth to a flame. That's when I stumbled upon it, a game that promised the thrill of a lifetime. It was like a siren's call, a magnet pulling me into its dark vortex. I had always been a seeker of the strange and unusual, a connoisseur of the unexplored. This game, lurking in the shadows of the dark web, was an enigma waiting to be unraveled. The game was shrouded in mystery, its origins unknown, its creators anonymous. It was as if it had sprung up from the very bowels of the internet, a creature of the abyss. The game was simple, yet deceptive in its simplicity. It was a labyrinth of puzzles, riddles, and challenges, each more intriguing than the last. I was drawn to it like a moth to a flame. My curiosity piqued, my sense of adventure ignited. The game promised excitement, adrenaline, a journey into the unknown. It was a beacon in the night, a call to adventure. I was eager to play, to delve into the mysteries it held, to unlock its secrets. I was aware of the risks, of course. The dark web is a dangerous place, a realm of shadows and secrets, a playground for the wicked. But the allure of the game was too strong, its pull too irresistible. I was like a gambler with a hand of aces, ready to stake everything on a single roll of the dice. The game had a strange, almost hypnotic power. It was like a Pandora's box, its contents unknown, its potential for horror and dread only a click away. But I was undeterred. I was driven by a sense of recklessness, a thirst for danger, a hunger for the thrill of the chase. And so, with a click of the mouse, I began my journey into the heart of darkness. The screen flickered, the game loaded, and I was plunged into a world of shadows and fear. I clicked on start. Little did I know I was playing with my life. The game was no longer a game. It was a nightmare that had come alive. As the days passed, the line between the virtual world and reality began to blur. The game, which started as a thrilling dive into the unknown, morphed into an eerie echo of real-life horror. Players, once eager to outwit each other, were now dying in real life, their ends eerily mirroring the game's scenarios. A chilling pattern began to emerge. Every player who met their digital end suffered a similar fate in the real world. It was as if the game had leaped out of the screen, weaving its dark narrative into our lives. The first was a player known as Raven. In the game, he was poisoned by a mysterious character. Days later, news broke that he was found lifeless in his apartment, an empty vial by his side. Then came Phoenix, who in the game was trapped in a burning building. Soon after, in a chilling coincidence, her house caught fire in the middle of the night. I too had a brush with death. In the game, I was cornered by a menacing figure wielding a knife. That same night, I woke up to the sound of shattering glass. A masked intruder stood in my room, a glinting blade in his hand. I remember the terror, the frantic scramble for the phone, and the sound of sirens in the distance. I was lucky. I survived. But others weren't. One by one we fell, our lives carelessly snuffed out like candles in the wind. We had become participants in a deadly game, our lives the stakes. We were no longer just players, idly clicking away behind the safety of our screens. We were pawns in a sick game, and the Grim Reaper was our opponent. The game ended, but its horrors didn't. They lingered on, like ghosts in the night. The echoes of the eerie laughter, the chilling whispers, the terrifying screams, they all haunted my dreams, turning them into nightmares. The aftermath was like a storm that had passed, leaving behind only destruction and despair. I was left to pick up the pieces of my shattered psyche, trying to make sense of what had happened. My mind, once a sanctuary, had become a battlefield, the memories of the game, its soldiers, waging war against my sanity. The nightmares were relentless, each one more horrific than the last, a constant reminder of the terror that had unfolded. I wasn't alone in my torment. The other survivors too were grappling with their own demons. Some had lost their sense of reality, unable to distinguish between the game and the real world. Others had become reclusive, withdrawing from society, their lives overshadowed by fear and paranoia. And then, there were those who weren't as lucky, those who didn't survive. The death toll was a grim testament to the gravity of the situation. Lives that were full of promise and potential, snuffed out in the blink of an eye. The game had become a grim reaper, claiming souls with a cruel indifference. Each death was a stark reminder of our own mortality, a chilling testament to the game's horrific power. The aftermath was a harsh reality, a bitter reminder of the game's deadly consequences. It served as a grim reminder of the horrors that lurked in the shadows of the dark web, a world where danger was just a click away. We were left to bear the scars of our brush with the unknown, a haunting testament to our ordeal. In the end, we survived. But at what cost? The game was over, but its horrors were etched in our souls forever. The memories of our terrifying ordeal had become a part of us, a dark chapter in our lives that would forever remind us of our vulnerability, our mortality, and the horrifying power of the dark web. You might think it's just a story, a tale spun to scare. If only it were so. This is more than mere folklore or a spine-chilling campfire tale. This is a reality that I, and countless others, were plunged into without warning or consent. We were ordinary people, just like you, who found ourselves entangled in the sinister web of the dark web. The impact, it's immeasurable. The psychological scars it leaves are deeper than any physical wound could ever be. It's a fear that lingers, a paranoia that never truly fades. Every shadow becomes a predator, every silence screams of danger. Sleep becomes a luxury, each closing of the eyes a confrontation with the horrors we experienced. This fear, this trauma, it's not born from a ghost story or a horror flick. It's real. It's the aftermath of a terrifying reality we lived and breathed. We were victims, haunted not by ghosts, but by a reality that was more terrifying than any fiction.